During the last days of Nazi Germany's downfall, as the Allies made significant advances towards Berlin, the high-ranking Nazi officials began to plan their escape. Did anyone manage to complete their plan? Life is definitely hard when you are hunted by the whole world to answer for your crimes. Most of them met their end in the chaos of the final days of the war, or were captured and tried. Some of them, like Adolf Hitler or Joseph Goebbels, chose an easy end for them and their families using cyanide or other available means. Others thought they could escape the foreign agency's hands, as Adolf Eichmann did for almost 15 years, hiding in South America. But he still didn't manage to win the hide-and-seek game. There is still one important Nazi figure who is shrouded in mystery to this day. Did he manage to escape, or was he also a victim of the war's end? Nobody knows what happened to Heinrich Müller. Heinrich Müller was the chief of the most feared secret state police, known as the Gestapo, for the majority of World War II. Along with Adolf Eichmann and Reinhard Heydrich, also known as the Blonde Beast, he played a crucial role in the organization and execution of the Holocaust. He was even known as Gestapo Müller, to distinguish him from another SS general named Heinrich Müller. Before we plunge into his captivating tale, pause for a moment. See that subscribe button? Give it a click. Stay tuned and join us on this incredible journey. The last place he was seen alive was the Führerbunker in Berlin on the 1st of May 1945. This was the day after Hitler ended his own life, fearing the consequences of Russian capture. Eyewitnesses placed him at Hitler's Reich Chancellery building, and Hans Bauer, Hitlers pilot, quoted Müller as saying,
"Wir kennen die russischen Methoden genau. Ich habe nicht die geringste Absicht, in russische Gefangenschaft zu geraten."
From this moment, there is no concrete evidence of Müller's whereabouts, his fate giving rise to numerous conspiracy theories. After the fall of Berlin and Germany's surrender, given Müller's seniority in the Nazi regime, he became one of the most wanted targets for capture on the Allied intelligence list. Allied investigators encountered an unusual challenge while searching for the former Gestapo chief: the abundance of Müllers in Germany. Because this was such a common name there, the investigators found no trace of Gestapo Müller. With no leads turning up, it was soon considered that Müller met his end in the chaotic last days of the Third Reich. But there was a significant event that reignited interest in his fate. In the 1960s, Adolf Eichmann was captured by Mossad and declared that he believed Müller to still be alive. After this controversial statement, multiple secret agencies opened their own case files on Müller. Unlike many Nazis who escaped to South America, especially to Argentina, no evidence was ever found that Müller had gone that way. The CIA was aided by the defection of Michael Goleniewski, the deputy chief of Polish military counterintelligence. He told the CIA that the Soviets' counterparts had informed him that Müller had been captured and transported to Moscow between 1950 and 1952 and was being exploited for intelligence purposes. Goleniewski had conducted interrogations of captured German officials after the war, which added credibility to his information. In the end, no concrete evidence could be discovered to back Goleniewski's claims. There is one more rumor that is connected with the Russians, though. Some former senior officials of the Albanian state security, disguised under the guise of a diplomat, have testified confidentially that the Müller case is not unknown or new to them. According to them, in 1956, when Khrushchev was undertaking the de-Stalinization of the Soviet Union, fanatical KGB circles removed Müller from Moscow and brought him to Albania. It is said that Müller was kept for years under strict security measures in one of the rooms of the building of the Albanian Intelligence Directorate. The secret was maintained until the 1960s, when Albania severed its ties with the Soviet Union. Since then, several Western countries have repeatedly demanded that the authorities in Tirana officially hand over the former head of the Nazi Gestapo. Tirana denied the news that Müller was protected by Albania, but is that so? Maybe we will never find out. Later, rumors began to spread once again in the Western media that the Americans kept Müller's presence a secret to the public. In 2001, the CIA released the files on their investigation into finding Müller, clearly showing that the Americans had no idea what happened to him after the war. The conclusion of the files was ambiguous. Quote, "There are strong indications but no proof that Müller collaborated with the Soviets. There are also strong indications but no proof that Müller died in Berlin." End quote. What could you understand from this? Comment your thoughts down below. In 2013, the head of the Memorial for German Resistance from Berlin made a shocking statement. He claimed that Müller had been buried, along with around 2,500 others, in a mass grave at the Jewish cemetery in Berlin's Mitte section. Johannes Tuchel stated that Müller's body was discovered in August 1945 by Allied forces in a makeshift grave. The claim was supposedly backed up by newly discovered documents that stated Müller was identified at that time as he was wearing his uniform with a photo ID in his pocket. Tuchel's claims have not been confirmed because Jewish religious law forbids exhumations, leaving the fate of Heinrich Müller as one of speculation and mystery. But why did the Allied intelligence agencies desperately want Heinrich Müller to be brought to justice? A lifelong anti-communist, Müller became known for his skills in investigating communist activities in Munich. These actions drew the attention of important SS figures such as Heinrich Himmler and Reinhard Heydrich. Müller wasn't a member of the Nazi Party. He even called Hitler an immigrant unemployed house painter or an Austrian draft dodger, but Reinhard Heydrich still admired his devotion and skills. As the Nazis gained more and more control over Germany, Müller found himself climbing the ranks once again under the guidance of Heydrich, and in 1934 he joined the Gestapo. In 1938, Müller ordered the arrest of around 30,000 Jews during the infamous Kristallnacht, taking the most extreme measures against them. Another important contribution to the Nazi regime was in 1944, after the failed assassination attempt on Hitler. Tasked with finding the ones responsible, Müller's investigations led to the arrest of over 5,000 people and the execution of around 200. What are your thoughts on Heinrich Müller's mysterious disappearance? Was he able to escape the manhunt organized to bring him to justice? One thing is certain now, given the fact he was born in 1900, he is not around us anymore.